Lords, having attached my name to Amendments 233 in the name of the Noble Lady Baroness Bull and 235 in the name of the Noble Lady Baroness Greengross, I'll rise very briefly. Also to note that I'm not quite sure why I didn't attach my name to 234 in the name of the Noble Lady Baroness Bull. I certainly meant to, so apologies for not doing that. And I did that because I was approached to show what broad cross-party support there was, and indeed when the Noble Lord Lansley and myself were both on the same amendment with a broad cross-party support, that definitely demonstrates that. But as someone concerned about poverty and inequality, I could not but do that. Now, the Noble Ladies, Baroness Bull and Greengross, have really set out the cases very clearly, and the levels of poverty, inequality, sheer struggle that so many people currently face and do face in the future. I'm not going to run through all of those again. I am, because we've been kind of round the houses slightly for quite a long while, in terms of the Clause 140 not stand part, I'm just going to make reference to one sentence in the Age UK report, because I think it sums up where we are very clearly. It says, I quote, "It is clear that these changes would have the potential to save the government hundreds of millions of pounds, but at the expense of those on low incomes, with modest assets, and living in parts of the country where house values are lower." It's the very opposite of levelling up. I do, however, in this context of this debate, and particularly after the comments of the Noble Lord Lipsey, want to set out an alternative vision, a vision that's much more radical even than anything you've heard from anyone else here tonight. And that is the vision that was passed at the Green Party conference in October, after a long and very hard-working campaign, particularly by our group of disabled members, and that calls for free social care for all adults. Now, members of your Lordship's House will have often heard me talking about universal basic income, and I would see as the other side of that as universal basic services. And I would regard social care as a basic service. If you need help to eat, to wash, to lead a full life under your own control, then that should be something that's provided free at the point of need in the same way as the NHS is provided. And this is a basic philosophical difference, I would say, to others who've said, well, we need it all means tested, you need to be able to look at where a person is. I would say someone needs this help. It should be provided. And then, of course, people who have the means to contribute to that, whether they're a person who's in a situation who's been unfortunate enough to suffer a disability, suffer a limiting illness, they should all be in that position. And, OK, I'm aware of the time. I will just make one final point, which is in terms of postcode lotteries. We often express a great deal of concern about postcode lotteries, but there's another lottery that occurs to people in this situation. Some people who suffer very serious disabilities, very serious illnesses that affect their living conditions, are able, through the courts, to receive payments. Maybe they're able to show, their parents are able to show that they suffered some disability at birth that was a result of inadequate care, and they receive a very large payment that's set at a level to provide them with a decent level of care for life. Maybe they're a young adult who's knocked off their bicycle and a driver is able to be held responsible, and they get a very large court payout. Absolutely rightly, I'm not challenging that under the current system at all, but they get that payment. Someone goes to court or can't go to court with exactly the same condition. They, or the people caring for them, their parents, relatives, have to struggle and fight at every level, at every moment, to get the care that they need. That, my lords, is just not right.